Good evening, good evening, good evening to everybody that is, of course, locked on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else. You are in the next episode here. This is the second episode of Big in the Business, and today we have, of course, the man Bj'orn Pierre on the inside from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Big in the Business, Bj'orn. What's going on, man?
Hey, brother, good night. I'm good, I know. I'm good.
Nice, nice. Good vibes, good vibes. Well, we're gonna get straight into it. Let us know what's happening. In a nutshell, who is Bj'orn Pierre?
I am plain and simple by a humble servant of the Lord, and also paid by. That's about it, you know. I love the Lord and I love my family, and that's about it.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, um, th- that's as good as we can get it. In terms of as simple now. You're a simple guy, so that is why that is as much now. We know you do a whole lot, but that is as much as you would say for now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
I don't like to talk about myself much, but it is a struggle on mine.
wait. That's all right. That's all right, bro. Well, we're gonna ask some real tough questions. That's how we do it here on Big in the Business. We go straight in. We want to get the real story behind the stories, because there are a lot of young artists viewing, and they want to know how does it work. What is realistic when it comes to the music industry and what they should experience. Now, what are one of the pet peeves you have within the music space? You've been in the music space for how long?
In the music space for probably about 10 years, you know.
10 years. Nice. Congratulations on that firstly.
About that,
No,
yeah.
one of the things that just you really wish it wasn't that way, and you're hoping that one day it will change. What are one of your pet peeves?
Well, it has so many different angles I could touch on it. I could touch on the artist point of view, I could touch on the producer point, I could touch on just the infrastructure. I think I'll deal with the infrastructure. I
All
think
right.
that's one of my major pet peeves. We don't have the best infrastructure as I know the music infrastructure could be. You know, the Caribbean really doesn't have it. We have the mentality of rip it off of YouTube, play it somewhere, get a copy of it somewhere, play, you know. But how it's supposed to work is once the music is played, the artist is supposed to be paid. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's typically in layman's terms how it's supposed to work. But we don't have that infrastructure here. And I think it just kinda is a kind of pet peeve when I look at how because of that a lot of new artists don't know the power and how serious they're supposed to be taking the music because they don't see it being taken seriously.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know, so it's easy to just record a song and say, I will just record a little song when they could really put in some real effort into this one song because, and I mean, I'm going on, I could talk plenty on this.
No, no, no. You're going real good. As a matter of fact, I can't remember anybody else saying in that particular way that the artist, because we're always told as artists, you all need to take your music seriously,
Mhm.
but you don't really hear people telling the other stakeholders within the industry that they should take the music that we create seriously, and ensure that we are compensated for it. And we are seeing also the ripple effect, as you're saying here,
Yeah,
where artists now just don't take the music industry serious at all because
yeah.
there's no fruit, nothing happens out of it.
Yeah,
So
the ripple effect that happens with that is when the industry doesn't take the music serious. The people that come into the industry who have the potential to put out some really good songs tend to just put out surface level or the first idea that comes to them because if this one don't work, I could probably just record a next one. And the how it's supposed to be is every song supposed to be recorded like if it's the best song you could ever record. You know? Because it have artists out there who are living life and feeding their family and taking care and paying bills off
of
of
course,
one song.
of course,
One
of
song.
course.
You know, so when you think about it like that, and it's not to say, especially from the gospel music point of view, it's not to say you're doing gospel music to get paid, but it is a it is a factor within the entire sphere of doing things. You know, you can have one song that, and showing God, enough example.
Right.
One song could just,
Change
one
your
song
world.
could just change your world. One song,
Change
so
your world.
it's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, yes.
Definitely.
I guess one of the reasons that's a pet peeve is because you're also a producer. Now, you didn't even get to mention uh, more about that. So
Bro, I have stopped producing for a while now after
really,
working with people like Redemption, Judah, and God
right.
and Mandela. Yeah, I kind of rock back. I just sing and write more. No way.
All right, no worries, no worries. Well, there's so much we could talk about when it comes to the music space. And one of the things that you really hope improves, like in immediate, like if we could change something now, what do you think we could change that will make it so much better for everybody that comes after us?
That's a hard one because it's really not an easy fix. Eh? It's not
Right?
a it's not a one sector, it's all the factors, all the pieces coming together and making
Yeah,
the change happen because the government has a part to play with it.
yeah,
The governing bodies of the music have a part to play with it, and the artists have a part to play with it, and none of these could move independently of themselves. I think the government has the strongest call, but still, um, it still has to be agreed upon. Nothing can just happen like that, you know.
right.
So it's really hard for me to say what could change right now,
Yeah,
but I know a lot has to change.
yeah. Because
Definitely.
like I said, there are so many moving parts, and they're all connected, and it all affects the other one. I've heard some persons within the governmental space say that the music just doesn't produce the amount of foreign revenue required for the government to be so interested. And I've heard other people say that because of the lack of investment, it is not able to produce the amount of foreign revenue that they could be interested. So there's so many different angles to it. But it is also said that even our music industry, the gospel music space, is one of the most developed on this side of the world, and many people wish that it could be within this space. We have seen a lot of the Americans start to drift this way to try to kind of craft their music sounding this way um, because of it. And that could be debatable, but that is what is being said that is structure. As a matter of fact, of course, I work on radio. We have artists from the United States sending music to release here on an island. You know what I mean? Because I guess they don't even have the opportunity to reach out to a station. It's not free to do an interview
Mhm.
internationally at the station. So we are seeing a strange dynamic happening, but we're paying close attention to it. But my next question has to do with what is your relationship with radio, especially in this day and this time, where radio is at, how technology is changing, what kinds of relationship you need to be managing um, going forward. What is your relationship with radio and, of course, your music business?
I have I have a genuine, general relationship with the DJs and it's a business functioning relationship. To say I have a personal relationship, like I know anybody, we go out online. I don't really have a relationship like that. But if the situation arises, sure. But the the way it works for me, I tend to reach out when I have a new song. I reach
Right,
out to whichever DJs. I've been very busy lately, so I have for my last two songs, I have never done a radio blast to send it out to all the DJs. But thankfully, songs get around. DJs know DJs, and they send it out and stuff. But how I would typically function a new song, I start WhatsApping whichever DJs I have on my WhatsApp. Say,
right.
hey, can I get an interview, whatever the case may be, to do promo, and we move forward from there. So I don't have really any issues with radio or any
Right.
particular stations or anything like that. No.
Now if an artist you just came out, you're 20 years old, you know you're talented, the music that you release, you believe that it is a phenomenal song. Persons who've heard it said that they've never heard a song this great. But guess
Mhm.
what? You have no connections. you have to start from, you don't even know where the studio located. You know to put on the radio, you know to put on the radio, and you know to hear the radio stations. What is the next step? Are you supposed to go down to the station and knock on the door? Or how on earth do you start from scratch when you want to get your music heard and played on the radio?
But I believe we in a era now where, how to put it, ignorance is no excuse. You know, like we have the technology, we have the simple thing as Google or Facebook. Like I am intrigued by this one TV show. It's one of our favorite TV shows, Shark Tank. You know,
Right,
it's one of those shows they come pitch your business and you see all these different investors sitting there. And they always tend to say, you had a hustle, you had a grind, you if as bad as you want is how far you will reach. You
right,
know, everybody knows where the radio stations are. It's not a secret society. It's not closed off to just
like,
radio personnel. You can go in, you can get contacts. If you're into gospel, it's very easy.
right,
It's three gospel radio stations. And as I can go back to pet peeves there. I find we as gospel artists tend to only run to the three gospel radio stations.
that's a good.
And I have found it is very hard to go outside of the gospel radio stations as well. And I think it's because a lot of us have not been knocking on the doors that often. So it
Right,
seems very strange,
yeah,
taboo to go and
right,
put your music that is talking all these moral standard things on these stations where they may seem to contradict themselves if they
right,
play a song. And I actually had just a side note, I had a time I was at a business place and I bounced up one of these popular DJs. And I said, hey, bro. And this is I don't ever sell myself. But I was in that kind of mood. I was like, yeah, but how I could get interview on the station, but you think? And casually, and this guy gave me his direct number, everything. It actually was his number, everything. So yes, send me it. I say, bro, well, just tell me this, tell me send thing, and when it play, and when I send it, no response.
right, right.
Then I say, bro, my stuff good, just check it out. Yeah, real sell myself, like, if it's some big producer in Sony or something you're talking to. Guy never respond. The guy
Great,
never respond.
great.
So it's like, bro, what do you have to do to get your music out there? And that's an issue in Trinidad. Like,
Wow.
man, you gotta know somebody. That's what it boils down to. You gotta know somebody.
So I guess now internationally, I've just do a little bit of I did a little bit of research as to how the majors get on radio, and they have
Mhm.
a budget just to get on radio. They invite their executives, invite the DJs, announcers to dinner and all the whole 9 yards to kind of get uh, some kind of hearing into the whole space. But we don't even have to get into that here in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
I believe one of the directions, at least I tell folks, is uh, get your music buzzing on the ground because radio stations only want to play things that people want to hear. Um,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? And if people want to hear it and it's big on the ground or it's big on YouTube and they're not playing it, guess what? They're not playing the latest.
Mhm.
So for a new artist coming in, don't focus on the radio. Radio is just is a segment, one small segment of the mass media that you could go. Now, the easy way is actually to go to radio. To be honest,
Mhm.
easy way, because if you just get there, then you can sit back and the music will just reach people. That's
Mhm.
that's what we think. But the harder way, I should say, would be you on the ground doing the necessaries, calling people, contacting pastors, doing the whole 9 yards, getting your music heard in specific spaces. So sometimes the longer road might be the easier road in the long run, where you don't have to now uh, try to bend yourself. You don't have to try to, make yourself into something that you don't want to just to get onto radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let
and
them,
that's
yeah,
sorry, I cut you. Sorry, you were
yeah.
saying something.
Also, let them call, let them come knocking. That is one of the best ways if you don't have direct connections with persons on radio. You know what I mean?
And that goes back to the same point I was saying. You had to grind, you had to get it done. I was just dwelling on that radio thing just to say, if radio is, because some people, radio will still have a prominent place in promoting your song. Right? It will still have that place. And to the people who still see it as that crucial and that important to get the song out there, these are some of the things you're going to have to face. Like, people just not going to, they're just not going to take you on because, you know, but social media has created that disruption in the space where you can do anything, and radio is forced now to play a song because you created that buzz within your song. Yeah.
Correct. That is the way to go. That is the way to go. Make real noise on the ground and let people come knocking. See, we don't have to keep begging people to play your music. It's just not a good feeling. It's not. It's just tiring. It's draining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the reality. All right, but my next question has to do with one of the areas that I believe, especially men within the gospel music industry or the space, we haven't got this yet, and it has to do with balance. I've seen gospel artists faint on stage. I've been around a while. I've been around to the point maybe 18 years within the music space.
Well, yeah, I know that.
I'm a little old. I'm looking younger, guys, but
nah, you're a young veteran. That's how you play.
So I've seen artists faint on stage. I've seen artists have fights with their families at the side stage. I've heard the conversations, and it's just out of balance and just toxic because of lack of balance in the space. So we have to balance being husbands. We have to balance being fathers. We have the whole. Most of us aren't full time, so that means we are working somewhere else. And some of us are worship leaders, and we have ministries to do, and so many other things. How do you've been in this space for about 10 years. Where are you with that balance? And share with us a little bit.
I am in search of that balance still. And one thing I tend to do, I never allow the scale to be off balance where my family is the one to feel neglected. Right. So if anything that has to get cut, it will be the show. It's always it will always be the show. It could be what, it could be who. I mean, if it has to come between a show and my family, my first ministry is to my family, and that's my mantra. That's what makes a lot of decisions easy. But it's still hard to find the balance in the sense of, bro, the last two songs that I released, which will be Mirror Man and It's Already Done, just to get those songs recorded was very hard. And I have my own studio. I record all my songs in my studio. And just to get it recorded, just to find the time, and not just the time, but to have the time and to have the muse flowing to be into the song was a major challenge. That was hard, bro. That was hard because I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat the vocals by, you will hear if I'm not really into the song when the song recorded, you know? And that was hard, and it's getting harder as being a father, especially being a father part. Because I've been married for this month, I'll be married for 3 years, bro. Yeah. But but my daughter, it has been around for, she'll actually be 1 year this month as well. But I mean, between the pregnancy and the birth and just her being around and having to fulfill that father role, man. As I tell you, the music will always suffer. I will never let my family be the ones to get burned. So if anything had to burn, I go let the music burn. You know, if no more music had to come out just because I had to step back and take care of the family, I will do that without question, because
that's a whole song.
Yeah, my family is my first ministry, man. Always.
There's a whole song that the music will have to burn. When it comes to people have to be compared to your family. No, you might just new song, guys. You're hearing it.
Sorry, it cut a little bit and it seemed like I was cutting.
No, I said there's a new song you're already writing. The music has to do, and if you have to compare the time with your
No,
family.
because you don't need to do music to be a minister, you know. You minister with your life. You understand?
Like it,
So
like
if you see me taking care of my family, I could be minister. I could show you God in me just taking care of my responsibilities. You understand? I don't have to sing a song to say I fulfill in my spiritual
so
obligations. You know?
that's good. That's good. But we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get into the process that went into one of the songs that you just mentioned, Mirror Man, because a lot of artists sometimes they just run to the studio and just record some words, and then they don't get the output as some artists forget. So we're looking forward to hearing the behind the scenes story. It's one of the songs that we love dearly from Mirror Man. But we're gonna take a quick break and we'll come right back. Okay? Do you have a deep desire to improve your vocal skills? Well, I have something very special for you. I have a free vocal masterclass that is coming up designed to really take your voice to the next level. Regardless if you're a new singer or a seasoned singer, this is the event for you, and it is all online. Now, when you sign up for this masterclass, you're going to get access to the full webinar. You're going to be a part of the live Q&A section, as well as free resources to help you along your vocal journey. All you need to do is just click the button in this description and register, or you can go to www.curtisjordancoaching.com/vocal masterclass. See you on the inside. And we are back, and we're going to jump straight into this one. This one is called Mirror Man, and this one. I would say disrupt. It's like how technology came and disrupted analog. This one just came and just it just disrupted this space, bro, and made everybody pause. It came into the soca world and made the whole soca world pause and say, yo, this is something that we need to take note of. This one is called Mirror Man, guys. Take it in.
Father, hear my heart, Father, hear my voice. This man was made and placed to glorify the Most High in my life, yeah. But this man's been drifting from God's side. And he told me I should daily seek you, Lord. Yeah, you told me there are others looking on. When they see me, do they see your reflection? Or do they just see a man? Mirror man, yeah, I am just a mirror man. Lord, anytime you do an inspection, my face should show your reflection. Mirror man, oh Lord, I am just a mirror man. My life is to give you praise. Lord, help me to show your face in my mirror.
Yeah, man. I just a taste. Now, guys, if you want to hear the entire production, head across to YouTube and check out the Mirror Man by Bj'orn Pierre, guys. You can't go wrong. Tell us a little bit about the process that went into this particular one, from the writing that went, and then into the the production, and then into the video, like you paired it and married it to the video. Give us that story.
So, Mirror Man is actually one of my oldest songs.
Wow.
Yeah, that song was written could be 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Song
but I believe in timing. I believe I knew that song was different. A lot of people from my home church and some other churches I would have gone to, I would have been singing it. That would have been before I even started recording and having music really on radio and stuff like that. I used to be singing my songs, and people
Right.
be like, "Where I could get it, where I could get it." But I never wanted to just put it out and just release a song. I wanted to do, I wanted to put in the effort because the message was so strong. The process behind that song, bro, I tend to get a lot of songs from sermons, like actually being in church and hearing a sermon. And these pastors always have clever little things that is push in or whatever. And I can't tell you how many times I've left church with a song. So many, plenty of my songs started off that way. That's that idea. And I really can't remember what the sermon was on, but it clearly was on something with introspection and, then God see your reflection. Sometimes just hearing two words rhyme is like, clicks on that's a song, you know? And I just held that song near and dear to my heart. And it was, when did I release that song? Last year. I said, it's time to do a concert. And the title would definitely be this song. I'll build the whole concert, everything around this song. And yeah, that was Mirror Man, bro. That was Mirror
That
Man.
was epic. That was good. It really set a standard within the space as well as it also encourages artists that we could do this thing. We could do this, once we put anywhere we could do this. The possibilities are endless. So congratulations on that one again. No,
Thanks.
my next question has to do with where do you see yourself in the next at least 4 years within the space as an artist? 4 or 5 years. Next album, um, living in a next country, or what is it?
I have no idea, but definitely. And you say our next album. I've never released the album yet. Eh?
Well, we would say,
Definitely an album because, bro, I've I've been trying to get this. I have a project that I've been trying to get off the ground, but the timing thing is still something that I'm working on. Yeah, but definitely having an album out within the next 4 years, within in
right,
the earlier part of the next 4 years too. That I don't
right,
want too long. Um, in terms of residence, I don't know if God have plans for me outside.
right.
There are some
Gotcha.
countries I could really see myself living in, but not to make you think too secular, but no place like home. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? There's no place like Trinidad. I love my country bad, but I love my country bad. You
same.
know?
No, as much as you are Trini, the latest song that you would have released, it swayed towards a little bit more of the Afro beat. What would have inspired that's the next hit by itself? What would have inspired that? Or is it you were invited to that space? So
So Judah Peters has Redemption Studios. He has been taking over my catalog of music, where it's almost every other song is Redemption. But all glory to God the same way because something about his production, every time he sends me something, I get something for it. And he
yeah,
sent me a song at a point in time where my wife was pregnant and she was getting ready to go give birth, like some days away. The due date is some days away. And I had that rhythm there and I'm listening to it and I say, what this song going to be? Because I already know I'm going to sing on it. Like the melody,
right,
everything is just feeling like me. And just get it's already done. And with that I was seeing myself holding my daughter. You know what? I see my daughter still in my wife's belly, but it was more inspired from just the unknown and the anxiety of life in general, and then to be more specific in that situation,
right,
God was telling me it's already done. Wherever you're struggling, all the problems you're facing, God will fix it. It's in God's hand. We serve a powerful God. He can do all things, and it's from that line, it's from that mindset, that mind space, the song was written. But at the same time, I needed to make it general for to apply to any situation that anybody
right.
could be going through.
That's fresh. That's fresh. So I'm looking for plenty more along those lines for sure. What are one of the genres that you're really looking forward to experimenting with?
Experimenting. I wouldn't say experiment because I know I will do good with it. Is reggae, bro. Like
Nice.
I want to do a reggae project. I want to do
Nice.
a full reggae project. Something about it I just feel home. I feel
Right.
in a space that I'm very comfortable in. And I try not to make my first project a reggae project because people tend to dub you a reggae artist.
One time.
One time. Yeah. And reggae is some kind of addicting way. Like once you just want to turn every song into a reggae song. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to wrap up. We already run out of time.
Yep.
Thanks to everybody that you stuck it all the way to the end. And I know it has been real informative to you. And now you can just grab some stuff I'm going to apply to your music career and see some the same kind of, because I always say that God is no respecter of persons, but he's a respecter of principles. And if somebody's putting in work, if you putting in work too, you're going to get fruit too. You know what I mean? So guys, you're in the right place at the right time. The man just dropping gems. And a final question for tonight. Where could we find you directly? How could we get in contact with you? Where can we find more of the music? Remember you say you don't have the album yet, but where can we find the singles that we could just run and partake of it?
To find my music, you just type in my name. I always tell people my name spelled correctly incorrect or incorrectly correct. So the apostrophe is in the wrong place. So it's BJ''ORN.
Right.
Bj'orn Pierre. You type that in any Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, wherever you stream music, it should be there. If it's not there, message me and let me know because people pay money to have these things there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Bj'orn P Music. And if anybody needs to contact me for bookings, you can contact 7559673. Yeah, I think the WhatsApp call, you can just contact that.
Nice, guys. And if you want to get our number again, you could when the live ends, you could just roll it back. I take on that number, get the man a call. I'm sure whatever you need at that particular time, this is the man for your event, regardless if it's local or international. You will never go wrong. You can't go wrong with Bj'orn Pierre being a part of your cast. I can tell you that. As if he's available, guys, the man is fully booked. You'll count yourself lucky if you get to be on your event. So, bro, thanks so much for being here on Big in the Business. This is episode 2, and everybody that's listening on all the podcast stations, Apple Music, Spotify. Thanks so much. If you want to find out much more about this podcast, just click the link below, and you will find out so much more. Those on YouTube, much blessings. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Facebook, of course, follow and share. Thank you so much, Bj'orn Pierre. This was Big in the Business, episode 2. Much blessings, man.
You've been holding on to pain for too long. Let it go, cause I wanna let you know. Father, I wanna bless you with favor, yeah. I wanna let you know, the battle is not for you. So when you let it go, put it in the hands of the